Right, as we said, it's a long scheduled Premier League weekend with games being broken up all across the next 7 days.
We have football every day.
Which is something we absolutely love to see. So it kicks off on Friday evening. Well, as long as it's not international friendlies or qualifications. If it's an actual tournament then I'll watch it. So on Friday evening, we've got probably the biggest game of the weekend or the week scheduled, and that is Everton versus Tottenham from Goodison Park at 8 o'clock on Sky Sports. Everton currently sit in 8th place on 48 points, having played a game less than Spurs, who are in 7th on 49. Definitely very interesting to see how this does, because Spurs really need a victory to keep any hopes of Europa League football and even possibly Champions League, though I'd say that it's pretty much faded.
It's the same with Everton as well.
Yeah, but I know their fans will obviously be disappointed if they don't get European football this season, but I think that's kind of expected, and I don't think Spurs can really go another year without European football. I think if that happens this season, I'd say Mourinho's gone in the summer, and 100% Harry Kane would be going.
Yeah, we discussed that one enough.
Yeah.
I just hope the game's entertaining and not like watching paint dry.
Yeah, it does have a scream. This game's going to be absolutely dull.
Because let's face it, Tottenham have already been destroyed by paint already today.
Yes, we'll get onto that in a second. The first game, because this was the first match day of the season, finished 1-0 to Everton, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored the only goal in the game after 55 minutes. But again, it wasn't really the most entertaining game, if I remember correctly. But yeah, like you say, Spurs got absolutely done it over by paint. So today they announced a new sponsorship with paint company Dulux.
Do you know what was weird? When I first saw this on Twitter, because my eyesight's not that good, I generally saw Durex when I first looked at it. So I was just like, oh.
I mean, that is Jesus Christ, that would be a sponsorship and a half to announce if it was with Durex, but no, it's with Dulux. I don't even what are they doing? Number one paint brand as our first ever paint supplier. Why do they need a paint supplier for?
It'll come in very handy if there's any Harry Kane displays around the place. That'll come in very handy when they have to paint over it.
True. And whoever runs the Twitter account for Dulux, I mean, he's probably no longer in the job, but while it lasted and after the sponsorship was announced, he had an absolutely brilliant few minutes. So
it screws the person who knew they were on their last legs and they went out swinging.
Yeah. So one person tweeted, "Can the dog play centre back?" and he said he might do a better job, Chris. Another one was time to paint that trophy cabinet, and he commented the picture for sale, unused trophy cabinet. And then another one said, paint the dusty trophy cabinet, and he said, don't be silly, surfaces should be dust free before painting. Absolute brilliant.
How embarrassing does your club now have to become to be done over by a paint company?
Yeah, he's an absolute joke. That doesn't scream more of a joke club. I don't know what does. Like, it is absolutely hysterical that they've been done by a paint company.
I think it was nice to see Tottenham fans take jokes as well.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant while it lasted. Elsewhere then, on Saturday, the 12:30 kickoff sees Newcastle play West Ham at St James's Park. West Ham obviously in high-flying position, up in 4th with 55 points heading into the weekend, whilst Newcastle are just above the relegation zone on 32.
You got one club flying high, Europe in their sights. Their season is going to be at a very nice end, and then there's West Ham. The return of Steve Bruce, football genius. Always relied on him.
This is the type of weekend that he does it, and he puts West Ham's Champions League
threats. We didn't say this stuff. We didn't have much time on Newcastle in the last episode. I couldn't help but laugh at the BBC's headline. They were trying to say, "Has Steve Bruce turned this around?" Look, fuck off.
Yeah, he hasn't turned anything around at all. Like, they're just lucky that Fulham haven't also been winning. That's why he looks so good at the minute, because Fulham have also lost games where over the last 2 weeks, or was it a loss and a draw? Or was it two losses? Yeah, so I think that's what's made the Newcastle situation seem not as dire as it actually is.
It's still as depressing
but
as
it is. It's just still really, really bad. Could we be set for another Jesse Lingard masterclass this weekend?
Well, if he doesn't, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, this guy can't do it against the bottom clubs, can he?
Wouldn't surprise me. Right, and then the next game is at 8:15, which is weird having that big of a gap in between Premier League football, but it's because of the funeral of Prince Philip, so that's why football's been moved this weekend. And that is Wolves versus Sheffield United at 8:15 from Molineux Stadium. Wolves currently sit in 12th place on 38 points, and obviously Sheffield United are rock bottom with 14 points.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be an entertaining game, is it?
Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah,
Wolves aren't going down. Both. They're not going to be in Europe. Sheffield are down and will never be in Europe ever again.
Yeah, exactly. They've got it's a nothing game, this one. It's one of the few where we're at this point of the season already, and neither team have anything to fight for or worry about, because we already know Sheffield United are condemned to relegation, and like you say, Wolves they're in no man's land where, like you said, no ups, no down, just chill.
For something like we've had with Sheffield United, it's that Chris Wilder's statement in the week was very nice.
Yeah, I did only briefly skim through it, but it did seem like a beautiful sentiment about his time at Bramall Lane, and surprisingly he's decided to do one now after all this time of being sacked. And then again, it was like 2 weeks after the sacking that their owner came out and spoke about it, so nothing surprises me anymore with that club. Then on Sunday we have Arsenal versus Fulham from the Emirates Stadium at 1:30. Arsenal currently in 9th place with 45 points. Fulham even, I don't know why I said Everton, are in 18th place with 26. Why do I see Arsenal bottling this game for?
Is it weird that I also have that same thought process?
I mean, it'd be interesting to see how they get on tonight in the Europa League, because obviously they've got to play their second leg against Slavia Prague. Yeah. But it doesn't fill me with confidence, this Arsenal team. And this is the type of game that they could really lose, and it wouldn't be a shock.
Yeah, potentially. Okay, so with Fulham having something to fight for, and then they also have the Arsenal do have something to fight for, but you just know their inconsistencies are there still, and it would be typical if they did lose this.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any. Has there really been any improvements under Mikel Arteta compared to Unai Emery?
Considering they were mid-table when he was there last season, no.
That's the thing. I'm not. There's just. I mean, apart from the starting 11 he chooses, and maybe the tactics, there's just nothing different from Arsenal under Emery to Arsenal now under Arteta.
Oh, you can only judge Arteta more, I guess, if he's like this next season. But yeah, this isn't great.
No. And it will obviously be 10 times worse if they do get knocked out of the Europa League later on tonight. For us, wouldn't look good for them at all.
Yeah.
And then,
if anything, I want them just to harvest some hope of actually caring for the Europa League.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I don't know. don't think Aubameyang's back for it yet, or is he? I think he might be a late fitness check because obviously he's been ill this past week, and I'm not too sure. I think Smith Rowe and Odegaard have been in training because I think they missed their last game through a bit of injury, but I think they should be okay for this one.
So what was Aubameyang ill with? Did he finally look in the mirror?
Oh God! Don't be talking about that haircut again. It's awful. I don't want to be reminded of it. Right, next up on Sunday at 4 o'clock is Manchester United versus Burnley. United in second place with 63 points, whilst Burnley are in 16th with 33. I mean, United don't really beat Burnley. Like, they are United's bogey team when it comes to playing them. So I wouldn't expect a comfortable result as many would expect from United this weekend.
You lie. Because, we now found out what the real problem was all season with Man U and why they're not as like title challengers. So it'll just be nice for your players to actually see who they're passing to for a change.
Yes. So if anyone has missed that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in his press conference on Wednesday that the reason United's home form has been so bad is because obviously the fans not being there, and there's been a lot of red advertisements and shirts, things around Old Trafford, and it's obviously players have seen it out the corner of their eyes thinking it's a teammate, and they've passed it to that rather than an actual teammate, which is an incredible excuse because every team has been in the same boat as United, yet not every team has bad home form this season.
I know Man U fans want him to be like Ferguson. We didn't mean literally.
I know.
He's pulled one straight from the Ferguson book of quotes there.
Yeah.
What is he on about?
I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea.
No sensible Man U fan could go, do you know what, he's fucking right there.
He's spot on. I can completely agree with you there, Ollie. I know what you're talking about.
We've been saying this for months.
Exactly. No one's believed us. Yeah. Hey, if he does improve our home form, then he's a genius, and I can't complain.
Screw it. Change the seat colours of Villa Park because light blue arm sleeves they can't tell.
Exactly.
How do you think Man City get on?
I know they have to do this every week of the season. It's got no fans there, even in a regular year.
How was a thing?
Exactly. Poor Man City fans. Or Man City, should I say, not Man City fans, there isn't any. Then, next up on Monday night, we have Leeds United versus Liverpool. Kick-off from Ellen Road, again 8 o'clock. Liverpool are in 6th place on 52 points, whilst Leeds are in 10th on 45. This could be a really good game.
I just beg that this is at least half as good as the last one.
What was the last one? I don't remember.
It was the very start of the first game.
Yeah, the very first game of the season, wasn't it? And everyone was calling fucking Marcelo Bielsa a blooming genius. So like you said, Mo Salah scored a hat-trick for Liverpool in that game, and Virgil van Dijk was actually playing football and then scored in that game. And then Leeds goal scorers were Matthias Klick, Patrick Bamford and Jack Harrison. I would expect pretty much a similar game. I don't know whether it would be as high goal-wise, but I do expect it to be a thoroughly open match between the two sides. And it would be interesting to see how Liverpool's front three can bounce back after that Champions League knockout to Real Madrid earlier on this week.
It will be. I think their season's over almost. They just have to battle to try and get the top four now. Yeah.
Well, I think that they can. I don't know whether they see out the top. I think West Ham and Chelsea are more likely to get the top four for them before them, and Liverpool. I think Europa League, realistically, this season is the thing that I think they can get, because I think West Ham or Chelsea will go on that incredible run and be more dominant, and then get that last qualification place, and then one of the team who doesn't obviously get that. I think they will falter off a bit, and then Liverpool will be able to capitalise and get that Europa League spot.
Maybe. Not fair up with the Conference League though, lads.
Well, yeah, they still have the Conference League. Is if Man City win the Carabao Cup, that is. Because if Spurs win it, then Spurs get the UEFA Conference League. Because for some reason, England don't do it on league position; they do it on League Cup winners, which is very strange. We've still got more Premier League fixtures to look forward to because of how elongated this week is. So on Tuesday, Chelsea play Brighton at Stamford Bridge. Again, 8 o'clock kickoff. Chelsea in 5th, 54 points. Brighton down in 15th on 33. Chelsea, you got to say, comfortable winners here. Starting to look a little bit more threatening and look like they can score more than one goal in games. And I think this is something, again, that they can show against Brighton, who don't have anything really to play for. I don't think they're going to go down. And obviously, it's just positioning now for them.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as straightforward as you think. Like, I do expect Brighton to make it a bit more difficult.
I don't know. I can't remember what the first score line between these two was. Obviously, it was the first week of the season. Chelsea won 3-1. Zuma, Reece James and Jorginho scored a penalty, and Leandro Trossard scored for Brighton in that game. So it won't be easy, yeah, but I still think Chelsea will get the win and score the goals that they need to get the victory. Then on Wednesday, which we are still going, this is still all under the same match day.
There's not heading to Villa Park. Football, is there?
No. We're heading to Villa Park as your Aston Villa host table toppers Manchester City. I know you've still got 6 days to prepare yourself for this, but are you feeling confident or not at all heading into this?
Considering how the last one at Villa Park ended, prayers will be needed.
I don't remember what the last scoreline was between you.
6-1. It was like weeks before the League Cup final.
Oh God. Oh yes, yeah. Now I remember you saying it actually. He actually wasn't. So technically, it was match day 1, but it wasn't played in the first week of the season because of Man City being in Europe. So that was rescheduled to January this year when you first played them, and it was until the 79th minute when Man City broke down Aston Villa with Bernardo Silva and then Ilkay Gundogan scoring the goals for Pep Guardiola's side.
You forget we were technically robbed in this one because the offside rule was forgotten.
Yeah, and that whole debacle of because he stepped up and wasn't offside. Yeah, I do actually remember that whole debate. That was crazy and still is.
There is worries in this one. I feel our season's close to being over. But we're missing Grealish, is obviously key to everything. We've lost
Trezeguet's now set to miss the season as well with
the most important goals recently for us, Trezeguet. Watkins is pretty much the only source of goals we have.
And it's going to be hard for him to run the show on his own against Manchester City.
I feel like we're at that point. Just send the kids. Send on the kids.
Well, you can send in... Was it Louis Barry who scored a hat-trick the other day? Or was it Ramsey that scored a hat-trick?
I will happily talk for 45 minutes about our youngsters.
Well, we're not going to, thank you very much, because we still have one more Premier League game to talk about. And it's in a week's time, and that is Leicester City versus West Bromwich Albion from the King Power Stadium in East Midlands meets West Midlands game. Leicester in 3rd on 56 points, whilst West Bromwich are in 19th on 24. Leicester will be in FA Cup week action this weekend, and we'll get on to, but they'll be able to welcome back the trio that missed last weekend's game as they have been back in training, and that is obviously Hamza Chowdhury, Ayoze Perez and James Maddison. Though West Brom obviously looking in a bit of good form over the last 2 weeks or so under Sam Allardyce, so they could throw the cat amongst the pigeons in this game.
Well, they're already doing that slightly. They're just playing like a team that's got nothing to lose now. Yeah.
But I think, like you say, with the other teams around Leicester, they've really got to keep the foot on the gas in this game. and can't afford to be lacklustre against a Sam Allardyce team at all, can they?
No, not really. If Leicester wanted, because Leicester at the moment are sort of going on their trend of what they were doing last season.
Yeah, of throwing away Champions League football.
It's getting a reputation of almost bottle jobs.
Yeah, quite similar to what Spurs do, realistically. But they get to a point of the season that you're just like, we give up, and you're like, wait, hang on, you've gone from being...
Well, I say bottle jobs, that's probably strong. Choke artists.
Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as Spurs, but it is still quite bad what they have been doing and how the results haven't been going for them recently.